something that's important is going to be discussing how slash why alcohol actually causes an increase in cancer risk and trying to help with that lower percentage of knowledge about it happening in the first place, as well as talking about why that is. So we can next go into the four main ways that the report laid out alcohol increases cancer risk.
All right. I like a list. I like a good list.
Yes, so starting with the first two that the report noted are these two have the strongest evidence behind them and seem to be the biggest contributing factors that we know the most about. So one main thing is that when we break down alcohol in our bodies, it's not good for our body. So our body wants to break it down and into waste products and then remove it from the body. And during this process, alcohol breaks down into what is called acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde seems to be a direct contributing factor to cancer because it connects to or binds to DNA and then causes damage to it. And when the DNA is damaged, this increases our risk of cancer because because when DNA is damaged, cells can begin to grow uncontrollably, and when cells grow uncontrollably, that is how we form cancer tumors. So that is the one of the main ways that this process happens. The second way that alcohol is known to contribute to cancer risk is because alcohol makes what are called reactive oxygen species. And put more simply, this will increase inflammation in the body. And increased inflammation in the body can uh, also cause damage to our DNAs in a similar way, cause damage to our body through this oxidative process. And this as well just makes the cells build and grow and inflame, and this can contribute to increased cancer risk as well. The third way, and this one is particularly important because it relates to the way that alcohol contributes to breast cancer specifically, which appears to be 60% of the well, it's important because it makes up a lot of the cancer related deaths in women, and it's actually one of the uh, it's a very big contributing factor to the overall risk of cancer from alcohol. So, what alcohol does is it potentially alters hormone levels like estrogen, which then plays a role in the development of breast cancer. The last way is that carcinogens from other sources. So, if we think other common carcinogens with a similar amount of evidence, let's just use tobacco as an example. Other carcinogens from things like tobacco can dissolve more efficiently in alcohol, and then it makes it easier for those other cancer causing particles to be absorbed in our body and then increase our risk of some of these cancers, particularly mouth and throat cancer, because that's where it is starting, where it goes through it first.
I have never considered that point. The contact of alcohol with like mouth and throat, they totally make sense. But when you mentioned the point about carcinogens from other sources like tobacco smoke dissolving in alcohol, now digging into my biochemistry courses and the organic chemistry courses I took in university, that makes a lot of sense. But it's not something that I would have thought about coming into this conversation. Heck, and I'm in this spot in this seat, and that's still a point that you learn something every day. Uh, cool. Obviously not cool, but it's an interesting. It's a really cool fact and piece about how alcohol impacts cancer risk. That's neat. Not neat. Again, not neat, but I need to find a better word for that. Jeez.
Need information.
Yeah, neat information. Thank you, Sharon.